Hey everybody, Kalaghar here, and welcome to the show. Let's get started, shall we? As I said in the previous episode, the whole world started buckling under the immense weight of these beings. The three Sporemounds, they came for Grond and they lashed at him with tendrils hard enough to destroy him, to crush diamonds. And because he was a mountain and he wasn't flesh and blood, little pieces of him started falling off. Relatively speaking, some of the pieces were as big as they were able to shape valleys and create lakes around the world of Draenor. Um, the three Sporemounds eventually converged on Grond. They moved in perfect unison towards him, and they almost had him beat. But as Grond was as Agrama is, his willpower was of steel. He retaliated, he came back, and he pummeled them with fists with the backing power of mountains. Imagine having a mountain dropped on your face. Yeah, that would probably hurt a lot. One could imagine. I never tried it myself. Yes. Anyways, however, this assault was great. Nevertheless, but the Sporemounds did not give any quarter. They did not give any ground. Eventually, one of them fell. Sang, he fell to Grond. Grond picked him up and tore him in half and just threw him away. That's great. Sang, he became the fungal area we now know as the Sangar Sea. And, oh well, Sangar Sea back then, Sangar Marsh today. And the very, very dangerous fungal that just spreads everywhere. So I guess Sang won. Um, they fought. Now there were only two Sporemounds and Grond left, but not for long. No, 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 no. Grond, he saw his opening, and he moved against Nanu. He crushed Nanu between his hands, and as Nanu fell to the ground, the whole world made the sound of a giant hitting the ground, which makes sense. Regardless, Nanu became the region known as Tenan Jungle. But this was a taxing battle, and Grond, he was but a shadow of his former self. There was he had great chunks had fallen off of him. Like, a lot of him was exposed, and Botan saw this. The last of the Sporemounds saw these weaknesses and knew that he could do something there. But he needed more power. He really did. So what he did was he took the life force from the remaining Sporemounds and grew to a monstrous size, a lot bigger than Grond. However, Botan still decided to be careful around Grond due to the fact that Grond was still immensely powerful. He was blessed by a Titan. He was created by a Titan. I'm not sure that Botan knew this, but the testament was what it was. Botan avoided all direct attacks and instead used a different tactic. He started enveloping Grond's legs and body in small vines, thorny vines, and Grond, he didn't think much of it because they were small. But as the vines started digging into his body and spreading him in a sense, creating new fissures and essentially breaking his legs apart. It was too late for Grond at this moment, and he buckled under his own weight. He then became the mountain range at the top of Nagrand, and his head became the throne of the elements. However, even though Grond was defeated and Botan victorious, this was not the end. No, Botan could not go on living a perfect life, a perfect dainty life that he always wanted. No, 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 no. Even though Grond was defeated and the Sporemounts victorious, this was not the end of it, no. Because during the battle, pieces of both sides fell off of them. The pieces that fell off the Sporemounds became whole new creatures, new plant life, and the strongest of these, the biggest of these, were known as the Genosaur, as we know from Draenor. Big thrones of mains of land. Even though they had this massive size, they were still incredibly agile. And just like that, the same with Grond. The biggest rocks that fell off him became known as the Colossals. And the Colossals, you might have seen them around something like Frostridge. It's the giant bone thingies and skulls that the orcs there have made into their homes. But not only this, no. After the Sporemounds had devoured so much of the fifth element of Draenor, the other elementals, the other elements had a time to thrive, and if this the death of Grond had given way to the physical manifestation of it because he was filled with this energy of Draenor because that's what Agramoth weaved into him upon his creation. This gave way to the physical manifestations of the other elements. The strongest of these were the Furies. The fire one was Incinerarius, I think, and the water one was Calandrius or Aborius. The wind and water was Calandrius and Aborius. See what I did there? If you can't tell which is which, just introduce them at the same time. It's great. And the earth one was Godog. Yeah. The four elementals lamented the death of Grond, and they vowed to stay in his shadow forever. Where they are is what we mortals now know as the Throne of the Elements. Alright, I think that we will end it there, and tomorrow we will talk about the fall of Botan, the Sporemount that got away. No, we can't have that. And, well, I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you!